A man falsely claiming to have terminal cancer. A community that raised $40,000 in support for a total facade. That money was spent, but perhaps not on its purpose. Accepting money from a man actually dying of a terminal illness. An alleged one-night stand with a prostitute. A shocking confession, pending legal action. And finally, a devastating revelation. This is the story of Rob Mercer. Quick announcement, the Lodge will be celebrating Doyle Brunson Day. Head on down and win a pot with 10 deuce that is trips or better for your chance to win $10,200. I'll put a link in the description below. Also, I'll soon be launching the best heads up course ever created, the End Boss System, with myself and Fabian Adler creating a course from ground up, teaching you heads up and how to play wide ranges in the absolute most optimal manner. You can check out the link in the description below. On to our story tonight. Who exactly is Rob Mercer? Rob Mercer is a 37-year-old recreational poker player. He came onto the poker scene when he reached out to Twitter Spaces host Snoop Dogg. No relation. Rob claimed to have terminal cancer and was looking to raise money to play in the World Series of Poker main event, a buy-in of $10,000 with a chance to win up to $12 million for its first place prize. Mercer was given a platform on Twitter Spaces on June 20th where he told an emotional story about his diagnosis, claiming to have stage 4 colon cancer. That night, Nick Vertucci, partner at Hustler Casino Live, agreed to help Mercer raise money. He even agreed to make up the difference if Mercer was unable to reach his GoFundMe goal of $12,000. The story began to gain traction in the poker community, and Mercer was able to raise $12,025 on GoFundMe, in addition to other private donations and a suite at Bellagio for him and his father. In total, estimates say that he raised between $30,000 and $50,000 for himself. While Rob Mercer was using a fake illness to gain money from his followers and the poker playing community, he also began a relationship with Cody Daniels, a poker player actually suffering from a terminal illness. Both Cody Daniels and Rob Mercer were staked to play the World Series of Poker main event. The World Series of Poker main event costs $10,000 to enter, with over $12 million for its first place prize. This event is the flagship tournament in the poker world. When the tournament began earlier this year, Rob Mercer was eliminated before making the money, meaning that he would lose his entire $10,000 buy-in. After losing the money, Cody Daniels decided to be generous and offer Rob a free roll to his own buying, meaning if Cody Daniels ended up making money in the tournament, he would pay Rob Mercer part of his winnings as a token of good faith to show support for Rob Mercer in his condition. Cody Daniels ended up making the money in the World Series of Poker main event, turning his $10,000 into $30,000, profiting $20,000 and giving $2,500 to Rob Mercer. Here's what Cody Daniels had to say about the event. Thank you, Jamie. The poker world provided with the experience they're trying to provide to Rob. What I will say is I enjoyed every second of it, and him and I didn't swap. He supposedly woke up with a fever on day 1 of the main and busted early, so I felt bad and gave him a free roll of 10%. He followed me to the cage when I busted. But waking up feeling like crap during the main event was my worst fear, so when I heard he woke up with a fever and busted, I was heartbroken for him. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's common for tournament players to swap a piece in an event, meaning I'll give you 10% of me if you'll give me 10% of you. But normally that happens before the tournament. A swap where you get 10% of me when you're already out of the tournament, that is basically just charity. Unfortunately, our story does not end here. According to Nick Vertucci, around the time of the main event, and soon thereafter, Mercer began to act ungrateful for the support he had been shown. He was even seen in Las Vegas gambling at table games. For those of you who don't know, table games are in the pit in the casino, so games like blackjack or roulette or craps, games that are not possible to win in the long run, the house will beat you. When Rob was questioned about where he got the money to be playing these games, he got defensive and played the victim. My personal favorite story during this time came when Mercer posted the following tweet on July 20th. If there's any consolation to basically going broke in Vegas, I head down to get food in Paris, and right by the pizza place, there's this 40-something hot blonde, and she says hello and starts a conversation with me, and I'm thinking, oh boy, another working girl drumming up business. I tell her I'm gonna go play poker, and she says, why don't I come to her room and get naked and fuck her brains out? And I say how much, and she goes, I'm not an escort, I'm a porn star, and I'm horny, and you're cute. I'm just hitting on you. Good thing Southwest allows last-minute flight changes. I can't believe I just read that tweet out loud.
Want to get away?
Here at Polker News Productions, my team was able to track down an exclusive clip of Mercer telling more details about this encounter to his friends at a poker table.
She was really a nasty freak. She just loved to get down with sex all the time.
Oh shit.
She'd be like, oh, you're nailing me, cool.
As these inconsistencies began to pile up, Snoop Dogg, Daniels, and others began to question the validity of Mercer's diagnosis. It turns out that when the poker community first vetted Mercer, he showed a MyChart note asking his doctor to confirm his cancer diagnosis. But somehow nobody followed up with Mercer to find out that the doctor had never responded. When confronted about this, Mercer responded with another MyChart note that was almost identical to the one from June. Once this was pointed out to him, he deactivated his social media accounts, which raised suspicions even further. Those looking for closure finally got it this week when Mercer gave an interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal where he confessed. Rob Mercer said, quote, I did lie about having colon cancer. I don't have colon cancer. I used that to cover my situation. What I did was wrong. I shouldn't have told people I had colon cancer. I did that just as a spur of the moment thing when someone asked me what kind of cancer I had. I'm sorry for not being honest about what my situation was. If I would have done that from day one, who knows what would have happened. My personal guess, he wouldn't have raised $40,000. Just a hunch. Also, claiming to have colon cancer when you don't have it, frankly, that just makes you an asshole. In addition to these quotes, Mercer also apologized to Daniels via text message that was shared by Snoop Dogg on Twitter. It was a super long apology, so here are some of the highlights. Quote, over a year ago, I did get COVID, and after that, I did continue to get sick, and I started developing lumps under my skin in my chest area. They weren't really painful, but it made me scared and my nipples started to leak blood. I got really scared and decided to go to the doctor to get checked out. When I went for my appointment, I walked in and then sat down and saw all these people who looked really sick and had their family with them. And they were all upset and looked defeated. And inside me, a panic came over me and a pit in my stomach, and I said, no, I can't do this. And I walked out and never went through any appointments or seeing anyone for what was going on. I went home and started deep searching my symptoms and everything my body had been doing over the past couple of months, and it all led to male breast cancer. All the symptoms lined up with late-stage male breast cancer. In a panic, I told everyone I had colon cancer out of fear or being made fun of or trolled for being a man with breast cancer. That seems like a normal reaction to finding out you have a life-threatening illness. Your first thoughts, dude, I hope the bros don't make fun of me. Fortunately, those who donate on GoFundMe will be given refunds as the company issued the following statement. GoFundMe has zero tolerance for the misuse of our platform and takes swift action against those who exploit the generosity of our community. We have removed this fundraiser for violating our terms of service. All donors have been fully refunded, and Rob Mercer has been banned from using the platform for any future fundraisers. Additionally, GoFundMe cooperates with law enforcement investigations of those formerly accused of wrongdoing. But not everyone will be so lucky, as many of the donations, like the $2,500 given by Cody Daniels, were made in private. It remains to be seen what will happen to Daniels and other victims. Look guys, this is a brutal one. This guy used a fake illness to further himself and try and use that sympathy to gain money on the internet. And what I'm going to say next is going to make some people probably pretty unhappy, but I think you should be very, very careful with donating and supporting these kinds of causes online. And I have donated and supported a few of them in the past, but a lot of the time, you don't know exactly where the money is going. If you are going to donate to someone, you need to make sure that the story is real. In fact, normally the kind of situations that I like to give to are ones where I know for a fact that the person has had an illness or has passed away or something like that. And then when I donate, I know that this is real. If someone pops up online with something you haven't heard about, you should be highly skeptical. And frankly, donating to people without doing due diligence on your own end, that's part of the reason why these things will continue to happen. Because people recognize, hey, I can make a quick buck by pretending to be ill, and I will capitalize on the sympathy of people that aren't going to put the time in to double check. So I guess what I would say is this: I don't think you need to be stingy when it comes to trying to help people in a bad situation. But I do think you should try and do your best to make sure that the person that you are helping out or sending money to is actually real. Because if you don't, it gives life to these kinds of things to happen again in the future, because there will always be scumbags looking to make money on the internet. We're just a hair away from 400,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, show a little love, and let's take this thing into the 400,000 subscriber range. Not many poker channels with that, guys. Means a lot to me that you guys have supported me over the years, and I'll see you again soon.